Hi, how are you doing, great people? I hope you're doing fine. Myself, I'm doing good, and I welcome you to Verified Soul and to today's video. In today's video, let us take a review of the current status of the DV Lottery 2023. What is the progress? As we are talking now, it is the 30th of June 2023. And earlier in this month, towards the middle of this month, we got the visa bulletin that was called the visa bulletin for the month of July. And this July visa bulletin affected the interviews that will be conducted in the month of August. Therefore, the data or the information in the July visa bulletin covered those people that will get their interviews for the DV lottery in the month of August. And as we are talking today, people are still getting their second notification letters. That is the interview appointment letters. Remember, guys, from the time that you receive your second notification letter to the date for the interview, there is a short period that you're given to get yourself prepared. And that time normally is between 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So you're given a period of between 4 weeks and 6 weeks. After the release of the visa bulletin for July, 2NLs started rolling out, and they will continue receiving their second notification letters up to the early of the month of July. That is throughout the coming week. And then towards the middle of the month of July, the upcoming month, we are expecting to receive the visa bulletin for the month of August. It will be called Visa Bulletin for August 2023. And the content or the information in that visa bulletin will cover all the cases that will be scheduled for the month of September. And we know for sure that the month of September is the last month of the fiscal year for the DV Lottery 2023. So that will be the last month for the DV 2023. So this coming visa bulletin matters a lot. Now, let's begin with the overall report on the current progress for the whole globe. Generally, KCC is performing well and as per to what it is required at this moment. When we take a look on this website by Zaticius, we can clearly see that it was updated on the 24th of the month of June here. And when it was updated, we see here the totals. We have a total of 37,950 issued visas. And this is inclusive of the principal applicant's visa and their derivatives. The number of principal applicants visas issued is 18,732. And we see for the ready one, the ones that are already scheduled, we have 17,596. These are scheduled, ready for the interview. And the number of principal applicants that have been scheduled for the interview is 7,036. These 17,596 include the principal applicant and their derivatives. And if you can just add the 17,596 visas that are ready and awaiting the principal applicants to go for the interview, if you add this number, to the already issued visas, 37 plus 17, you find you get around 54 or 55,000, around there, or 56. Of course, of these that are ready to be interviewed, some will be denied the visa. They will not qualify for the visa and they will be denied. But if you take the total number of the ready cases and the issued cases, we are already closer to the total number of visas that are required to be issued. So KCC is doing very well. Remember, this is in the month of June. And you can see we have refused cases, which is around 3,398. And you can see as well, we have 3,398 visas that were refused. And we have 624 that were put on the 221G refusal, and we have 370 that are on AP. And these cases that are on AP means that their visas are being processed. They went through the interviews and they are waiting for the process to complete, meaning this number soon will be adding to this number here, the 37,950. So from these statistics, you can see that KCC is well performing. The only issue is with certain countries of Africa that are not scheduling as per required. So that's just an overall view of the current state of the DV process. Now, let's look at this. For now, we know that for the region of Africa, all the cases are current, apart from just a single case. And we expect for this visa bulletin, even that final case will be covered. So what does this speak of? Immediately after the release of the visa bulletin for the month of August, in that second half of July, 2NLs will start streaming in for those that will be interviewed in September. And they will receive their second notification letters from the third week of July up to the early week of August. And therefore, this means we are coming towards the end of the DV Lottery 2023. And I know this brings shivers to most people, especially those coming from the region of Africa. I've not seen a great problem with other regions. For example, Europe or Asia or the Latin America. I've not seen any great problem. But the region of Africa, and specifically so some countries, they have a great problem. And that problem is their failure of scheduling the interviews for the DV winners as they are required. They have been performing very poorly in terms of scheduling interviews for the DV winners. And you'll find out that in those countries that are performing poorly, the cases that were not supposed to be considered as high and with less chances of getting scheduled for the interviews, those cases now, they are considered as high. And that's so unfortunate. For example, if you take for the case of Addis Ababa Embassy, of whose information, when I check this table here, I see the last update was on the 24th of June, just about a week ago. And the update that I have is that the highest case number that they are handling as at this moment is between 21,000 and 25,000. And if you consider this case of Addis Ababa Embassy, you'll find out that for them to catch up and schedule people with as high case number as 49,000 will be a challenge. And that is to mean even people with 42,000 or 40,000 might end up being a high case number, of which it's not for the case of Africa. And I was looking for the case of Accra, Ghana. And Accra, Ghana, they are just doing or scheduling interviews between 25,000 and 30,000. And you can see people with 45,000 case numbers might end up not getting their scheduled interviews simply because of the poor performance. They will end up being a high case number, of which it's not that high case number. And again, this other example, Nairobi Embassy. The Nairobi Embassy, having in mind that it serves several countries within the region, it is very much performing at a very low speed. And we see there are between now 30,000 and 35,000 in terms of cases scheduled for the interview. And therefore, you see that for all these embassies that I've talked about, and there are several others, we see that people with even considerably middle case numbers might end up falling into the category of high case numbers, of which is not normal, and they might end up losing their chances. So guys, that is just a simple review of the current status of the DV Lottery 2023. And what I hope for is that the Nairobi Embassy will wake up and do as it did last year with the DV Lottery 2022 and schedule many cases for the month of August and the month of September to at least try and come closer to what they are required to have done within this fiscal year. So thank you guys for watching this video and for sticking up to this point. If you have not, please subscribe and also like the video. Let's meet in the next video.